Today these kickers are competing for $500 and all they have to do is make a field goal, but first they have to make it through camp. Hey, today we're out on the field, but for a different reason. Y'all see that over there? Those are a bunch of guys that came out to the field today to get better. I'm hosting my first kicking camp. I never thought I'd be in a position to be able to do this, but we've got people out here that want to get better, came out to the field to get better today. And even better, we got Shane Graham and we got Coach Deas out here. Y'all have seen me work with both these coaches, and now these kids get to come out here and learn from them themselves. But we're trying to do this on a bigger scale, trying to grow this thing. So if y'all want me to come to your city, let me know down in the comments where I should come to next. Let's go. How we feeling?
Good, man. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling.
No, you are not. You've got to be hot.
Yeah, but I'd rather be hot than have like tan lines.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about tan lines.
It looks like we got a young crowd. We have a crowd that needs a lot of attention, so I think mechanics are going to be important for these kids, more importantly.
Hey, like Coach said, we got a young group of kids out here, and mechanics is going to be the biggest thing that we got to look at. Now, what he means by mechanics is we're going to be looking at their form and their ball contact for the most part. Those were two of the biggest things that I had to learn myself when I was trying to get better at kicking field goals. My form was pretty bad and my contact was really bad. Now, contact isn't going to develop in one day, but you can at least start to learn how to do it, and being able to learn from these coaches is definitely going to help these guys.
Who just goes right into kicking? Don't be scared to say it's okay. That's what we're here for. So everybody here has done no steps. That's what we're going to work on right now, some no steps. What are no steps for? Contact. These are the kind of things I want you guys working on to get better.
Speaking of contact, the first thing that we're going into is no step. I really used to hate doing no step kicks because I feel like they don't simulate kicking a field goal very well. But the coaches have made a good point, and I've learned from these guys as well, that doing no step kicks helps with your contact a lot. As you progress in no step kicks, you learn what feels like a good ball and what feels like a bad ball. If you're able to create good contact on a no step kick, you'll be able to replicate that on a full approach. Now, like I said, that's not going to all develop in one day. It's not going to happen right away. It's going to take some time to get better at it.
Instead of being really jerky and going like this, I want you to imagine kicking through the front of the ball and lifting and extending your follow through to the target.
We're gonna go into our ones now, but before we get started, I gotta bring somebody out here to give you guys some more encouragement.
My name is Dominic. I play at the University of Michigan. I played at Arkansas State for the last 2 years, so I kind of have an idea of what it's like to play at the next level. My advice to y'all, if you put in the work, someone will find you. If you're good enough, someone will find you.
He's way better at talking than I am. They're getting better at kicking field goals, and I'm trying to get better at talking. Sometimes I talk too fast.
Hi guys, it's time. This is what we're gonna do. Start at the 10, go to the 50.
Shout out to Dominic for popping out to the camp. Y'all heard him say, if you guys put in the work, they will find you. That's so true. Like I just said, it's gonna take time to develop, but if you just keep putting in the work, I promise somebody will find you. From there, we went into some one-step kicks. One-step kicks are basically just building off of our no-step kicks. We're trying to replicate that good contact to get up through the ball, but this time we're adding a step so you can actually get through the ball a little bit.
Are you replacing me with that thing, dude? What's going on here?
It's the Osmo.
Yeah, but I'm the David.
I was surprised. Like we said, there's a young group out there, but they were really booting the ball, and there was a lot of good kicks, but one kick stood out.
Kicking off the ground. You don't like the half inch or anything? We're gonna have to pick that ball up a little bit more. Okay, I know you towed that ball, but you gotta get that ball up.
If you're kicking off the ground because you want college coaches to recruit you for that, then you're actually not giving your best kick. Your high school coach wants you to be able to make the most amount of field goals from as far as you can for his team, for your team. So don't sell yourself short trying to make yourself be recruitable by kicking off the ground if you're not ready. If you're truly ready and you're bombing it, go for it. But if you can kick better off a half-inch block, be the best kicker for your team instead of thinking about trying to project yourself for recruiting. If you do well for your team, I promise you, the recruiting will happen. So don't force it by kicking off the ground if you're not ready for it.
That's the second time we've heard that now. If you do well enough for your team, the recruiting will happen. Like Shane said, don't force yourself to kick off the ground if you're not ready for it. I kicked off a 2-inch block all of high school. But you don't necessarily have to kick off a 2-inch block. If you still want to get better and you're comfortable kicking off a 1-inch or even a half-inch block, do it. You might as well. You can in high school. It's going to give you a little more lift because naturally a lot of people top the ball when they kick it. Basically what I mean by that is they hit too high on the ball so they don't get as much height on the ball. When you use a block, it just raises that ball just slightly so you can hit the ball a little bit lower and get more height on the ball. A lot of y'all message me and ask how you get more height on the ball. Well, that's one way you can do it. If you're kicking off the ground, try using a half-inch or a 1-inch block. Like Shane said, don't sell yourself short by trying to make yourself recruitable. Just go make kicks and be the best kicker you can be for your team. Now, after that, we went into some full approach kicks. This is where I finally got to see what these guys' kicks actually look like. And they were doing a really good job. Y'all are seeing it on your screen right now. They were kicking the ball really well. And we noticed that they were listening. They were coachable. The guys that were kicking off the ground, now we're trying a 1-inch or even a half-inch block like we talked about.
See how you got more pickup? That needs to happen. Now you just got to get yourself used to contact, right? Hitting a better ball.
We about to have a competition later in the video too. You might be one of those guys. Hey, you guys just heard me talk about it. At the end of the video, there's going to be a competition for $500. And it's not just going to be a big ball competition either. It's going to be a competition where we bounce around and see who's the best kicker at this camp. So make sure y'all stay tuned to the end of the video because it's going to be a good competition. I can already tell.
We're not trying to get our best field goal today, guys. We're not trying to get our longest cleanest field goal today. We're trying to get our what? Cleanest hit. We're trying to develop some kind of consistency.
You guys just heard Coach talking about developing consistency and hitting quality kicks. And you guys are seeing it. They're hitting quality kicks right now. They're all getting really good contact and getting pretty good height on the ball, especially this 7th grade guy right here.
He's like that. Bro's the only one that doesn't have Dreamer shorts on. We didn't have any smalls. Told him I'd get him some. Youth sizes coming soon.
When you take your steps, you want to take them for a reason. You're not just doing it because you saw guys do it on TV. There has to be a purpose, and you have to focus on those details. Those same details happen when you're in your stance. My left foot is pointed just to the left of that Gatorade bottle. That's where my plant foot's going to go. I want to feel like I'm driving my belly button through this space left of the ball. That's going to allow my leg to come through. My leg will take my hips to the target.
Coach said you want to take your steps for a reason. This is something I didn't even really realize until a few months ago. I always just took my steps the same way every single time, or you guys saw I even used to take diagonal steps. But they're talking about you want to take your steps with intent so that you're consistent every single time. Even those little things like taking your steps the same way every single time are going to be the difference between a make and a miss down the field. We're starting to hit some deeper field goals, but you can see they're still hitting really good footballs. They're not overcompensating because we're moving back. They're just hitting the same clean ball every single time. I'm honestly really impressed with this group right now.
Think I could hit the crossbar?
No, I don't.
What? That's a flag.
I bet I'll hit it before you 20 yards up. It's turned into my video.
Oh, yeah.
I just hit it.
Now at this point, we're done with the instructional part of the camp and we're getting into the competition. So we decided to ask some of the guys what they feel like they improved on so far today.
Me especially, feel like contact. Just been practicing with coach and by myself.
I think I improved on just taking better steps and just making better contact.
Sometimes when I kick, I like stop, and I've been doing better at following through. My form, mostly just form, just like squaring myself up when I'm getting ready to hit the ball. I think I got good contact, good power. Power will come as I grow.
How old are you?
13, 7th grade.
Keep pushing, bro.
You heard a lot of them said they got better at contact and their form, which was our 2 goals to start this video anyways. So I feel like we're doing our job so far. Now I'm excited to see what they're gonna do in competition. Now the first competition was a kickoff competition, and you guys can see they're booting the ball right now. We've got age ranges from 7th grade all the way up to juniors in high school. The younger guys were even competing in the kickoffs with the older guys. Now there were 2 kickoffs that stood out. One of them was this one right here that went to like the 2-yard line. Now this is a freshman in high school and he plays 8-man football.
Plays 8-man football like 2 hours from here. Like drove out for this. You don't see many kickers in 8-man football. Usually they just score like 70 points a game off of touchdowns.
And the other one that stood out was this one right here. It was like 5 deep in the end zone and won the whole thing.
You said you drove 2 hours and 27 minutes to come to this?
We woke up at 5 in the morning, got ready, and started our way here.
2.5 hours you drove out here.
You play 8-man? What's that like?
It's fun, but I want to get to 11-man. We only have 8-man out that way.
You came in kicking off the ground, right?
I tried 1 inch, and then I went down to a half inch because I was getting 2 under the ball.
Yeah.
So I tried that. I was able to get good contact.
Booting it now. Shane knows what he's talking about a little bit.
Shout out to your parents, bro. They say they want you to go to the league, get us out of Baghdad.
Hey, he might have been one of the guys that improved the most during this camp. Y'all saw he came in kicking off the ground. He was still kicking pretty well off the ground, don't get me wrong. But when he started using that block, like Coach said, he started getting way more height on the ball just by using that little block. Like he said, he tried a 1-inch block and it didn't really work for him, but then he tried the half-inch block and it was perfect for him. So if you guys are skeptical about trying a block and you're trying to kick off the ground right now, just try that half-inch block and see if it works for you. But now is the time that everyone was waiting for. It was the competition for $500. But I hadn't told them yet that the winner was gonna get $500 if they win.
Winner, we've got a $500 Dreamer Outfits gift card. Y'all can get more shorts, shirts, all that stuff. 1 mulligan miss. After that, out.
Y'all can see everybody in this video is wearing a Dreamer shirt and Dreamer shorts, besides the one. I ended up sending him some shorts afterwards, so don't get after me in the comments. But hey, if y'all want to get some of the Dreamer shorts, y'all see I got them on right now. Make sure y'all go to the link in the description, use code BOTCHIN at checkout. It's gonna save you some money on dreameroutfits.com. I'm telling you, they're the best shorts in the game. Now, the way the kicking competition is gonna work is we're gonna start with 7th graders, and then the winner of 7th grade will compete against 8th grade. Winner of that next round will compete against early high school, and then the winner of that's gonna compete against the upperclassmen. So if you're in 7th grade, you still got a chance to work your way all the way up and still win the whole thing. Now, we only had 1 7th grader at this point because the other one had to leave, so we still had to make this 1 kick right here, but y'all can see it was money. So from there we moved into the next round, and hey, I'm telling you, the 7th grader was competing with the 8th grader. Now there was a lot of makes, but we started weeding some people out early in that second round, and eventually we started working our way down to that last 2, and one of those 2 was our 7th grader. Now these 2 went back and forth a couple times, but ultimately our 7th grader missed and the 8th grader won and moved on into that 3rd round. But the 7th grader did his thing, so I just had to let him tell y'all who he is.
My name's Will Ash, and I go to ALA Gilbert North. I'm in 7th grade.
Even that last kick, it missed, but it sounded so clean. I know y'all heard it on the camera, it just sounds clean.
And just like that, we were on to the 3rd round. Now in the 3rd round, you guys can tell there's a difference between the 2nd and 3rd round. There's a lot more height on these footballs, there's a lot more power, a lot more drive on the ball, which is what you'd expect. The jump from 8th grade year to freshman year is a big jump. But eventually, just like the last round, we ended up working our way down to the last 2 in the 3rd round. Now these 2 were going back and forth too. It was a good battle, but it came down to both of their final kicks right here. That one was close, but y'all saw it dropped right over the crossbar and hit the post, so it was good. Now it all came down to this kick right here from our guy who plays 8-man football. But as y'all can see, it was no good. He just hit a little bit off to the right, which means the other guy moves on to the final round. On this final round, I think there were 3 lefties, which is crazy because you don't see many lefty kickers. Early in the final round, there were some makes, but there were also some misses, which brought us down to our final 2, which were both lefties. On the other rounds, there was some good competition, but this was a good battle. Both these guys know that there's $500 on the line right now. So they're both trying their best, hitting their best ball, but it all came down to their last 2 kicks right here. Sounds clean. That kick was so close to going in. Y'all saw it smack the crossbar. If he was 1 yard up, it probably would have been good. But it was no good off the bar, which means that the last guy knows that if he makes this kick, he's walking away with $500.
Back. Came back, money, takes the dub.
Hey, I know y'all couldn't really see it because the camera panned away, but just before he started kicking, the wind picked up really hard to the right. When it came off his foot, I saw it go way to the left, and I was like, yeah, there's no way that's good. But as y'all can see, the ball somehow came back in and dropped just behind the post, which means it was good. Now this means he won the whole competition and walked away with $500.
Thank you.
Congrats. Thank you, sir.
Tristan Vogt. I go to school at Queen Creek High, and I'm in 11th grade.
That ball was crazy. That boy going home with some new Dreamer outfits. And y'all can too by going to the link in the description using code BOTKIN. Y'all gonna get some money off, and he's about to get a lot of money off.
Obviously, he won that $500 and could have taken it all home for himself, but what he did next was crazy.
What'd you just do?
Gave him half the winnings, $250. He did really good, so I'm impressed.
Let me know down in the comments where we should come to next. I appreciate y'all tuning in to the first kicking camp. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one.
Get on the ball.